Hey everybody, how we doing today? Beautiful day here in the Florida Keys. The winds are finally down, so it's almost time to hit the water. The original plan is I need to load all this stuff and that stuff into the car, but then I wouldn't have enough time to go fishing anyway, so I figured we'd do something different. So I'm going to take you on a tour of my island, Key West. For today's video, the mode of transportation is going to be the good old troll bike. If you guys haven't seen this, I got a video about recovering this one from underneath the Park Channel Bridge. Someone had threw it into the water there, and I brought it home, cleaned it up, derusted it as best I could. Did a couple mods here. I have a video about that too. Added some tubes for this side for spinning rods, and that side's for my fly rod. Added lights, got the basket all worked up, new tires, oiled it down, and a year plus later it's still cranking. But that's how we're getting around today. Well, have to load this guy up when we get back, but no big deal. It can wait. Now, one of the key things that we're going to be trying to focus on is not getting killed. It's peak tourist season right now between Christmas and New Year's. So you got a lot of people rubbernecking around at the sun and the water and all the touristy stuff, and they don't pay attention to where they're driving, so got to be very careful. So that's number one on the list, surviving. All right, here we are in Key West, Florida. Basically, you got that road, 113 miles and 42 bridges from Miami to Key West, and then it dead ends right here at we call the triangle. So you can go either right or you can go left, and that's your two options. We're going to be going to the left towards the beach side. The right side actually cuts through the north and cuts right through the middle of Key West, but that's going to be a different video. So we're going that way. One of the unique things people don't know is that there's actually only this one canal where there's residentials on an actual canal connected to the island. Key West is really just an island. There's a more on the military on the north side, but on the main part of the island, this is basically the one and only canal. And Fred's boat is right about there. So that's where we always see me coming and going through this bridge here. And that goes out to the Cowkey Channel. Now, this is Cowkey Channel and the moorings. This is probably about the only reasonable accommodations you can find in Key West. Bring a rope, bring your boat, drop an anchor. I think they pay city fees, but that's about it. That's one way to do it. These are all apartment complexes right along here, and then a couple of resorts mixed in. So this is the Cowkey Channel outlet that goes out into the Atlantic Ocean. This is the one that you'll see in the videos most of the time when I'm going out with Fred, we just head out here and then head straight out to the edge of the reef. So as you saw, we came around that corner. You have quite a bit of the resort hotels along here. These are kind of out of the way because there's not anything else much around here except the boardwalk here. Well, you got La Trattoria and Benihana's, of course, and then the airport. But this is the beginning of the beach road. So the north-facing side of Key West, or the south side of Key West, is mainly the beach side. So that's where we're headed. I've got the East Martello Museum. It's a little bit of culture on the beach. The Key West Airport, so if you don't want to do that 113-mile drive, you could just fly in, a couple $100. And then you can see this is the whole south beach line that wraps all the way around to the tip of Key West there. We're here at Higgs Beach on one of the rock jetties, and this is the beginning of the actual beach here, and it goes for a pretty long distance that way with a few more jetties. That basically does is blocks the waves, keeps these weeds kind of out of the area, because you saw as we were riding in, that's what it would look like if it wasn't maintained. But they have big bulldozers come through every morning and clean out the seaweed. As it's starting to cool down, it's actually not as aromatic as it usually is in the summertime, because it usually smells a bit ripe with all the seaweed in the sun. This is kind of the reason why I'm not fishing as well. As you can see how muddy that water is. The Atlantic side is all blown out like this. It's just mud. So it usually takes a day or two for settle down. Gulf side's a little cleaner, I saw, but I don't know. Depends on the wind. Unfortunately, the sands here are actually bought and shipped in, because there's not really natural sand around here. It'd be mainly just that rough sand and a lot of seaweeds. But they bring this stuff in, and every day go through, pull all the weeds out, and fan this all out. Just across from the beach are the good old salt ponds. I made a video about here, but you launch from the inside and you could paddle around. But this runs right along the beaches as well. One of the main beaches. Alright, made it to the opposite sides of the beach here. Smathers. Oh, Pilchards. And then we've got more of beaches that run along there. That's the White Street Pier we're going to hit to next. There's a little eco reserve right here. I think maybe we'll take a trip down there and you can see what a natural beach would look like. And then if your dream was to move to Key West and buy a condo and live by the beach, this is where you do it. And this is what a more of a wild beach would look like if it's not groomed every morning. Get a lot of seaweed, a little bit of reef sand, but that's all pumped in as well, just leftovers. And just dried up seaweed and rocks and corals and stuff. But people do come around and collect all the trash and stuff to keep it somewhat neat, but good reserve for the wildlife. All right, let's head back and go to the White Street Pier. Here we are on the White Street Pier. Over there is my boat launch when I launch out of Key West, right there, and they just built this new seawall after Hurricane Irma, got that fixed. Usually this is my night fishing spot, but since they turned the lamps off, it's been killing my fishing. And then a little bit of beach area over there. And so here's the pier, little bridge spot I fish a lot of people fishing today. But they did get these lights working, which is good, but I need those lights working along the actual bridge there. And they put a lot of light into the water that attracts the bait, and then you'll see the tarpon and the snook running along these edges of the light at nighttime. But that's kind of why I haven't been doing any nighttime videos, because these lights have been off, so they don't hang around here at nighttime, or at least not in a way that you can find them very easily. Here's a good view of the rest of the south side beaches. So we go to where the White Street Pier, then the East Martello Towers, have some more public beach there, and then it starts getting into where you get all the resorts. It's all lining the edges of the resorts. And then you've got the satellite communications towers and balls there, radar balls for the military and the Drug Enforcement Agency. But that's the tip of Key West there. So we're slowly making our way that way. Key West is very pet friendly. So you got the small dog park and then the big dog park. Very pet friendly, so bring your dog. There's Higgs Beach, one of the last big public beaches there, and the new pier that they just put in.
Yeah, you'll see that.
Basically from here on out it's kind of like resort beaches, kind of private, but some public ones mixed in, and then all the way to the end at Fort Zachery Taylor there. Nice little bridge. Another victim of Hurricane Irma. This is the Casa Marina. It's probably the biggest resort property. One of the better locations, better views. Not sure if it's considered a 5-star or not, but definitely one of the biggest here in Key West. Now if you follow this route I'm taking, you'll run into all these little public park and little water access, but surrounded by all the tourist hotels and resorts. Very pet friendly. Got a doggy playing. Alright, we arrived southernmost point. All the tourists lined up to take a picture. Here's a hint though, if you're here for a while, come at nighttime, there's nobody here. And there's a light there so you can see it. Here we are at the southernmost point, right by the cruise ships and an entrance into the Coast Guard area. But this is Key West Harbor, famous for the Key West tarpon fishing, March, April, May, June, July. Kind of a little hidden beach area here. And here we are at Fort Zachery Taylor State Park. Basically where the Gulf and the Atlantic meet at the Key West Harbor. Right about there. And this is my tarpon spot when I fish the harbor, right along the edge here. We're back, hot and sweaty. Oh, like we're in the 80s, back in the 80s again. Brutal. But anyways, that is, well, part of my island. That's the south side of Key West. More of the beachy stuff, Atlantic side stuff. I'll do another video of going through the north side and the central area, and that'll hit more the tourist side and the military side. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you're shivering cold right now, plenty of heat and sun down here. So anyways, thanks for watching. I'm going to go out now and load up all my stuff and get it ready for tomorrow. Hopefully get some fishing in. Bye.